Do you remember our pilot? He had lived for years among adults, speaking their language, doing what they called the right thing. He became mature, reliable, successful. But somewhere along the way, he lost something precious. Then, fate decided to remind him in the most unexpected way. 6 years ago, the pilot was flying alone across a pale, endless sky. No passengers, no co-pilot. Only the hum of the engine and his own thoughts. Suddenly, a strange sound broke the silence. Clunk, clunk, clunk. The warning lights on the control panel flickered red. The plane shuddered, trembled, and began to fall. In that terrifying moment, the pilot finally understood what reality truly meant. Not the artificial reality of the adult world, but the raw truth that he might not survive. The aircraft crashed deep into the heart of the Sahara Desert. He survived, but found himself surrounded by nothing. No cities, no trees, no people. Just sand, stretching endlessly in every direction. He had water for only a week. Each breath was heavy with loneliness. That first night, he lay down on the cold sand and looked up at a sky full of stars, so breathtakingly beautiful that it hurt, because under that magnificent sky, he was completely alone. Sometimes it's only when the plane crashes and everything falls apart that we truly start to live. Because only in despair do we finally stop pretending. Take a deep breath now. If you feel that loneliness, it's okay. You are not alone. Not anymore. This story is here, keeping you company tonight. At dawn, something extraordinary happened. The pilot woke from a restless sleep, unsure if he was dreaming or awake. Reality and dream blurred together, and then he heard a voice. Soft, clear, almost musical, like a breeze whispering through the desert. Please, draw me a sheep. He opened his eyes wide. Was this another dream? He rubbed them, blinked, and saw a boy standing before him. The boy had golden hair, glowing like sunlight. He looked unmistakably like a prince. But what struck the pilot most was that the boy didn't look afraid. No fear, no hunger, no confusion. Just calm curiosity, as if the desert itself belonged to him. Before the pilot could speak, the boy asked gently, "What are you doing here?" It should have been the pilot's question, but instead, he was the one being asked. And for the first time, he felt like he was the stranger in this world. Then the boy repeated, softly but firmly, "Please, draw me a sheep." The pilot hesitated. He could have refused. He could have said, "I'm too busy," or "I can't." But something about the boy's voice made him reach for his pencil and paper. And in that moment, a long buried memory returned. He was 6 years old again. The drawing, the boa constrictor, the elephant inside. The dream that grown-ups had once laughed at. His hands trembled. I can't draw," he whispered. It wasn't just an excuse, it was a confession. He had given up that part of himself long ago. But the boy smiled kindly. "That's all right. Please, draw me a sheep." Just 4 simple words. And yet, they carried magic. So the pilot drew. He drew the only thing he knew how to draw. A boa constrictor, digesting an elephant. The boy shook his head quickly. No, I don't want an elephant inside a boa constrictor." Then he added, "Boas are too dangerous, and elephants are too big. Where I live, everything is very small. I just want a sheep." For the first time, the pilot realized the boy wasn't rejecting him. He understood him completely. He simply wanted something else. So the pilot tried again. The first sheep looked sick. The second was a goat. The third was too old. Finally, out of frustration, the pilot drew a small box and said, "This is a box. The sheep you want is inside." To his surprise, the boy's face lit up with pure joy. "That's exactly what I wanted." He gazed at the drawing with wonder and said, "Do you think this sheep will need a lot of grass?" The pilot smiled. "Why do you ask?" "Because where I live, it's very small." And in that instant, the pilot understood. This boy came from somewhere else, a tiny world beyond imagination. The boy didn't see a real sheep. He saw the pilot's heart. What he needed was not the drawing itself, but someone willing to stop, to listen. In the middle of the vast Sahara, at the darkest point of his life, the pilot met a prince from the stars. One simple question changed everything. Please, draw me a sheep. The pilot was no longer alone. He had a purpose again, to listen, to understand, to draw. And the little prince found what he had been searching for too. Someone who could truly see him. Every accident in life may be a question from the universe. Will you stop for a moment? Will you look again? Will you draw another sheep? The little prince didn't just recognize the drawing of the boa. He saw the soul behind it, the dream that had been asleep for so long. For the pilot, the boy became the first person who ever saw the sheep inside the box. And maybe that's the truest form of love, to see what no one else bothers to look for. My dear listener, this chapter has come to an end. But before you fall asleep, ask yourself quietly, have you met your little prince yet? Maybe you are the pilot, lost in your desert, trying to fix your plane while forgetting to look at the stars. Or maybe you're waiting for someone to ask, will you draw me a sheep? Someone to remind you that your imagination still matters. Because what you've been searching for might not be out there. It's within you. The sheep in the box has been asleep in your heart all along. Now, take one last deep breath with me. Inhale, breathe in courage. Exhale, release the thought, I can't. Inhale, breathe in the magic of imagination. Exhale, and let go of I'm too old. Let yourself drift. Like the pilot resting under the stars. Somewhere in your dreams, the little prince is waiting for you. May you dream of roses, stars, and your own sleeping sheep. And when you wake at dawn, may you realize you are never truly alone. Sometimes, when the plane crashes, we finally start to live. A person who truly sees you will say no until you draw the real you. The little prince didn't need a real sheep. He needed someone who believed. Every accident in life asks, will you draw another sheep? Your boa was never forgotten. It's still waiting to be seen. You were never truly alone. You just forgot to stop and look at the stars. Remember to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss our next chapter, The Little Prince and the story of Planet B612. Sleep peacefully, and may your dreams be full of light. Good night, my friend.